Welcome back, everybody, to Danganronpa V3. Today is the Day of Destiny, the third trial.
Oh.
And we are too short. Ultimately, this chapter is probably going to take a grand total of 3 people from the main cast. And most importantly, Kokichi didn't die. I've somewhat recovered from his bamboozle. Okay, that's not true, but I'm attempting to. I'd want you to graduate from super idiot level to at least Kaito it.
What?
I'm getting real tired of your shit, man.
Are you okay?
More importantly, are you okay, man?
Ah.
I'm feeling better. But wow, Maki Roll sure does pack a punch.
I don't know.
I fucking hate you. Only dipshits have died so far.
That being said,
I know it's a tall order, but try to use your brains this time so I don't have to use mine.
hoo-yah!
Okay. Did she just go booyah? Or hoo-yah? Or hoo-gah?
Rest in peace.
But
It may be difficult for us to rely on that god. You two are
know.
idiots. It's kind of funny seeing a robot believe in God.
I also...
So what robot you doing?
Indeed.
Before I even met Angie, I had a similar experience. Hearing voices. You might call it an inner voice. It tells me what to do whenever I'm in
Got
trouble.
a minute?
How long are you gonna say that for? Atwa and Ghost don't matter right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, we got a trial. We have more important things
Right
happening.
already. Yeah.
Hey, so
What? I ain't doing shit, man. I'm gonna hit this thing and make it do the cool animation. Hey, that's an expensive cup. You come to the trial grounds and spend 3 hours in it and want to kill yourself. Oh my god. This is gonna kill me. As soon as we remaining survivors stepped aboard, we went down. Yeah, we went down. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 10 people in here, looks like. Looks like 10 people. Huh, we're gonna be down to 9. That's rough. Hello!
Uh-oh.
Boy, they look real depressed. Must be because there's even less participants. Don't say they look depressed. You'll make Mono damn sad. As much as I'd love to keep hearing these adorable back and forths.
Now then,
Can we just get started?
extreme!
At last, the class trial will begin. That didn't seem very long for you because you were on vacation. The third class trial was about to begin. Angie, the ultimate artist. She created the Ultimate Academy Student Council to be a piece of shit. Then Tenko, she's dumb. I like that. She hated men, but she hated the killing game more. Like, whatever. I guess that's what we have to say about that. Are you doing a dance, Himiko? What's going on over there? Who was it that did the thing? Let's fight for truth and some other shit that I don't care about. It's just inner monologue nonsense. I don't need to save. I'm not a coward. Alright. Chapter 3, Transfer Student from Beyond the Grave. Well, we've had a couple of deaths so far. Not great. We still on, yeah, I'm fine with the action difficulty, but that logic, don't have any here, I don't think. Begin.
Smiles, everyone! It's showtime! Let's get this crazy awesome trial underway!
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I'm gonna be much help this time. Because of Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide his self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
Shut up! I don't need to hear some comedy act from you two weirdos.
Who did it? Who killed Angie and Tenko?
Do not let your emotions hasten your judgment. There may be two killers.
So, our other culprit might not be one of us here.
Hmm? What do you mean?
The transfer student.
Oh my fucking god.
Maybe our resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
Stop it! Stop making stuff up!
I'm shaking!
Say something, Shuichi. It'll be a mess if this keeps going on.
What the fuck was going on with Angie's portrait there? I need to look at that again. Oh, we're just going. We're just...
This crime was committed by the recently deceased.
I already know what this is.
Came back
She didn't
to
burn the
life
book.
and killed 2 of our classmates.
No!
So, ritual did work?
It did not.
That's wrong!
That was a tough one there. They put a couple of white noises in there.
I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded. According to the Necronomicon Monokuma showed us, you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual.
After preparing the effigy, burn this thing to ashes and some other shit.
If Angie's ritual had succeeded, the book would have been gone.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Then, going to think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Well, duh. There's no way a dead person could resurrect.
Now hold on a second! I can't let that comment stand!
Uh-oh.
Sure, everybody knows that you can't bring the dead back to life. But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the Necronomicon.
What are you talking about? There's no way that's possible.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
Daddy said so he can't be wrong. Raising the dead is totally possible.
Man, I can't believe you guys wasted such a perfectly good motive. You should have let me use it to bring Monodum back to life.
Monodum is still alive, though.
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste a resurrection on Monodum's corpse.
Oh? So resurrecting the dead was actually possible this whole time?
There's no way it's possible.
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is trying to confuse us.
Oh, that drew little wings on her and a halo. That's great. She's dumb.
Let's hurry up and find out who the Blackened is.
If our transfer student isn't the culprit, then blame falls to one of us.
Who? Who did it?
Step aside, Half Pint. I'll handle this.
Okay, well, this is gonna be a waste of time.
I don't know about Tenko, but I'm pretty fucking sure Kyo murdered Angie.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb with me, Creepshow. I already know what happened.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm already just gonna go. No, you don't. First off, this cylindrical lock. Monodam swallowed the only key, so it can only be locked and unlocked from inside the lab. Before Angie's body was found, the door was locked, but Kokichi opened it by picking the lock.
But you...
Next, we've got Kokichi can lock and unlock the front door with his own skills. And Angie locked herself in the lab since yesterday working on the ritual. She would not unlock the door unless someone from the council asked her to. So either this dumb bitch, or I'm sorry, bitchlet, is going to mention that he simply went in, which we can then use the info about the door being locked. Or maybe we use this account. She'll say something like, oh, fucking, you just came
Katana
in.
to kill Angie, and it was found in Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm.
Look at that!
Went to the classroom, broke in, and murdered the fuck out of Angie!
Oh, that's kind of weird. You...
Oh yeah! I'm a fucking genius!
No, you're not! You are not
You see?
a genius. Let me go over to that. I like the little worm words right
You
here.
shit-eating worm.
Look at that, look at that.
You went to the classroom, broke in, and murdered the
Okay, I fucking hate this game. I hate the way you shoot shit in this. One, I don't think the guns are accurate. The truth bullet went a little too slow. My accuracy issues are the thing that annoy me the most.
You went to the classroom, broke in.
God damn it! Okay, I don't like Chipmunk version of her either.
But
I've had enough of you, Miyu. I've had plenty to deal with. Oh no.
If I'm wrong, I'm gonna get
Went
pissed
to the
too.
classroom, broke in.
There.
That's wrong!
That's wrong, you stupid bitchlet.
No, Kyo would not have been able to enter Angie's lab. Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah. Before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
And Kyo is not a member. She wouldn't have opened the door for him.
Kyo couldn't have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
So whoever killed Angie must have been one of the student council members, yeah?
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer. Can't believe you actually got it.
You're running bits right now?
Oh, how clever.
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
The remaining student council members are Gonta, Kibo, Tsumugi, and Himiko.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie. I trust their friendship. You guys do too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Can we trust their friendship so readily?
Obviously. Let's believe in them.
That trims our list of suspects down to 3. Gonta, Tsumugi, and Kibo.
Yep. The culprit is one of those 3 people.
You mean one of those 2 people? Because a robot ain't people, Jack.
His name isn't Jack.
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't these accusations just a tad too hasty?
Whatevs. The culprit should confess already. Gonta, Keyboy, or Tsumugi? Well?
No, not Gonta. Gonta would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's a gentleman. You shouldn't suspect either of us.
Hey, stick up for me too.
Gonta definitely not hurt anyone. Torture Gonta if you don't believe.
Torture might be a bit too far, but Gonta and I aren't the culprits.
And I'm not the culprit either. Jeez.
Gonta
I'm not the culprit.
We're not the culprit.
No, please. I liked when she screamed Tarzan. Oh, God.
We must consider other
gentlemen.
possibilities. Surely there must be suspects
Gentlemen,
outside the
not
student
betray
council.
student
I haven't used the
council.
lockpicking yet.
That's utterly impossible.
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone can open
culprit.
that door.
Why?
Only
Much
student
better
council
than being
members
out
had
too late
access.
at night.
Look, I don't know
No.
who the culprit is.
Not really.
Heard it.
You had access, technically. So let's throw that out there.
No, it wasn't just student council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi? Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab, right?
I was referring to Kyo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have. Because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
Kokichi pulled out some thin needles and then picked it.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember.
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember. Yeah, I did it. I killed Angie.
No, you didn't.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham! Killed Angie.
Wham!
The culprit was me, all along.
What?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins. And it helped. I feel so much better. Whew!
Wait, so Kokichi really is culprit?
Yes, totally.
No, he's lying. I think. Maybe?
He's lying. I'm certain of it.
No, definitely not a lie. I killed Angie.
What was that, French?
Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
Then let me ask you, culprit. How did you lock the room?
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
What different method? Yeah, Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
Please.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was.
I'd like to assume that, you know, if they truly animated this, she'd just be right next to me just punching me. They used the back door.
That's it!
That's why there's gold dust on it.
The back door. That's how they made this a locked room mystery.
The back door had a sliding lock, yes? How was it locked from the outside?
The culprit used a certain tool.
The tool that the culprit used to light the sliding lock from the outside was... Oh man, I love this game. Twing, 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 twing. Look at all the options we have here. I just kind of like how this feels. I'm getting some fucking serotonin or whatever it is, like makes your brain feel good when shit happens. Oh man, we have so many options here. So many. The sheath was left, so there's no real... Ah, yeah, it's gotta be the sheath. Because they tried to close... If they tried to lock it. No? Okay. Then... I was thinking the sheath because if you did it from the outside, you could put it back, but... that's dumb. Whatever, it's the sword. Fuck you, I got it right.
The gold leaf katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy.
Yum.
The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock because...
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school bell.
Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
Now, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell on the past.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock, right? But wait, how did they move it with the katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
The clue that might give us the answer is the layout of the area itself. It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigies hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
I need to know the reason behind every step. Psyche Taxi. Oh god! Whoa! Whoa! It's okay. Okay, we got it. Let us start on our question and answer adventure. I get a little closer. Yeah. What turned the handle of the sliding lock? That's the word. I just need to fucking... It's okay, I got it. Hey guys, do you think I could be like an Uber driver? I wonder. What turned the handle of the sliding lock? It would have to be the katana's hilt. She's like, great, thank you. Can you take me to the fucking hospital? No, where we're going, it's not gonna be the hospital. Why are you taking me to the desert? Because I need to find out how someone was murdered. And you're gonna find out in the desert? No, not really. Do you think we'll get sued for these Mario Kart boxes? Nah, it's okay. They're letters. They won't sue over letters. I don't know, it looks pretty close. Don't worry. In the grand scheme of things, Danganronpa as a series is irrelevant. Compared to things like the Mario. What was done to make the katana turn the lock? What if I like this series more than Mario? That's alright. It matters to you, and that's all that matters. It was... Oh, that makes sense, yeah. They turn the lock by sliding the effigy. You just fucking like spin Kaede's fucking fake dead body around. That's kind of weird, but alright. Whoever did this has to be inventive. I want to think it was Kyo, but to be honest, he was already accused from the outset. I don't know if they would immediately go for that, but who knows, man? Who knows? To be honest, it could very well be Kokichi, but I'd kill myself if it was. That boy wouldn't murder anybody. Remember those great times that Kokichi did stuff like... How was the effigy manipulated to make the katana affect the lock? I'm gonna assume that they just twisted it. Like, they twisted the body so it, like, spun and slammed on it. Since it's stabbed, it's... spinning it. Yeah, I'm gonna go for spinning it. It's the only way it would reach. I love how long that specific minigame is. But it's okay, they worked hard.
The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Effigy spun?
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way.
This is really stupid.
And of course, the katana would spin with it.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope, and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with the katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us. Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick.
I will say, though, that it is totally their fault.
It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony. That way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could have picked the lock closed. I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Oh, man. You guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Oh, is that a
Okay,
reward?
I'll start right now.
Alright, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Alright, so make sure to never cut to Kokichi because he's busy wanking it during the trial.
I can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter, since anyone could have done it.
I just want these two to fight each other for the rest of my life.
Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Cum dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
What should we talk about now?
About how she's a cum dumpster?
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab.
Oh, man.
Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
It's fine. That's just a waste of time.
Me? A suspect? I never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down.
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Huh?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie? What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We've got to figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless. Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless! Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko...
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give 2 shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Yeah? Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is Death Curse. I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally, you noticed.
Oh, I can
Jesus,
just camera?
so-
Look at this. Oh! Yes. No. Yuck.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
I agree.
Yeah, maybe.
They're not working, but they're not wrong, but I don't mind going over it. Was that a rough change of topic? What do you think? I don't know.
So, what do we talk about first?
See, I knew you didn't know shit. What do you think, Karumi? I'm dead.
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
I can see her crotch.
Crotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
Crotch!
The people who attended. Gorkio, Himiko, Kokichi. Yeah. Yeah, this will be it.
That's it! It was me, Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those four are the culprits!
Okay, cool.
Oh, Himiko still culprit?
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
How did the culprit get in from the outside? The floorboards were loose. Tenko was atop them for the entire seance. It's unlikely they were used. Another location we could have entered and exited using them.
Oh no!
Oh, that wasn't it? Oh, yeah.
There!
Yeah, oh.
You're talking about under the floor, right?
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person can move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
No, it's not.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean Kibo's flashlight function.
What?
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
It's true, the little light. You can move around under the floor. Thinking about that room, I don't think it would be possible to use light.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
What about this one? There's space under the floor so you can see what was dropped there. It's either that one or the loose floorboard. But I think we can try the one about halfway into this.
You see, Flynn had a light.
Okay.
That's wrong!
I'm a smart boy. Boing, boing.
I don't think the culprit could have used a light while under the floor. There was a hole in the corner of the room. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
But when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Jeez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
Enough with the flashlight! It's way too bright!
Come on!
It would have been difficult to move around under the
Stupid
floor in that
fucking
pitch black
robot whose
darkness.
power is fucking Casio tape recorder, flashlight, his vision sucks, and he has the strength of a senior citizen. You're worthless.
Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Gonta think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from underfloor.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that. That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
Her corpse didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Hold on again. Yeah, I get you. He got cut open like a honey-baked ham, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
Tanko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
Yeah. She did call out.
Yes. She was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside Cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
Then she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
Huh?
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
What? Sometimes she's just a little too stupid for me. Sometimes, man.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
Oh no.
What about moment Cage was lifted?
Ooh, like that.
Oh no.
When Cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tanko real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
So who lifted the cage?
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit!
There's no doubt!
Tenko not being killed during the seance? I don't know, that seems a little stupid. She's just having a ball over there. Look at her. And Kaito's like, I can't deal with it. And then you have Shuichi here who's trying to look like he's thinking, but he's looking at her. He's looking at her sweaty tatas. He's just like, yeah.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
What about moment Cage was lifted?
Trying to
Cage
think
lifted,
of what I could
culprit
use
stabbed
here.
Tanko real fast. So fast, no one saw.
Oh my!
Okay, Chipmunk her is great. Jesus. I'm gonna try white sheet on whatever I can find here. Ah, shit. I should have done it for that. We'll try it on this one coming up.
What about moment Cage was lifted? That's wrong!
There's
No,
blood on the
It
sheet.
wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was lifted. Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right here!
What? Please.
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
What?
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out!
Okay.
Tenko died after the It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage. They stuck the thin blade through the gap.
Sorry,
and that
no.
clean white
No.
sheet got stained blood red.
But the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed. She wasn't that far from the cage's gaps.
She wasn't sitting.
In which case, the person who lifted the sheet is the culprit, and that's none other than Kyo. The blade's all you need.
Yeah. Even the first thing should be right here. She's using the marker stone with her forehead.
Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
I'll cut through your words.
She's gonna be really sad after this.
Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone. And the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Do we?
Yeah, no worries.
Oh my god, you just... It's illegal to burn niggas like this.
How embarrassing!
Oh.
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living person.
Huh?
What?
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
No.
What are you talking about? That's not possible.
I'm shaking.
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that. Screw spirits.
Stop that now.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
Damn it, there's enough to work off of on this. I don't like it.
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible. Spirits can't...
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Well,
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done
wait,
that!
I know. What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage?
Kaito, no.
If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance.
No. If there was someone else in the cage, we would have noticed.
I agree with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
Maki? No. Why?
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
Huh. Who could have killed Tenko from inside the cage? No one could have... Unless they're suggesting this was a suicide, but there's no reason for her to do it at all, but... I guess?
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
What did you say? Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
I guess?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out. She volunteered to be in the cage, and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mia actually said something smart.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed.
Oh my god!
After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Yes, that makes sense to Gonta.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no reason for Tenko to commit suicide.
Maybe I wasn't too far off with the theory I had earlier. You know, about Tenko killing Angie.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right? Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
Oh. It's not that, but that's fucked up.
Take us down?
She wanted us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial, so she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her. Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
But what are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that. She told me.
Yeah, she said all those nice
What
things.
if all of that was just a lie?
Boom.
A lie?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other?
No, not really. You've known each other for like 4 days.
People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
Just because you're acting all cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
Out of all the people.
Whether or not I believe. My heart can't reach Twinkle anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down. That's what I want to believe.
Me too. Gonta no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
I don't believe Tenko would kill herself because of what she said. Yeah, her words don't make sense. We shouldn't be satisfied with that. If we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. I'll make them believe. We're gonna just spin until we figure it out.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Let's see. Done crouch position, injury on the back of her neck was deep. Probably not enough to kill her immediately. Okay.
That kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
Everyone thinks she committed suicide, but only because they're latching onto the easiest answer. She would have had the strength to throw away the sickle. I have to lie.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
I guess we'll try last
with the
moment.
last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor. All the pieces fit.
No, I think it might be that. I think.
So she hid her true intentions. Kind of person! But if Tenko did it explains how she died during the seance. She could have secretly brought the sickle and then
Stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last...
Okay.
I'll reveal the truth.
You will, by lying, I guess.
Tenko couldn't have thrown the sickle under the floor because she died instantly.
I mean, it makes sense, you know. This'll help.
Instantly?
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone that far. Oh, okay. So she'll
I'm
know
certain
that.
of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Thank you, Maki.
How could you forget that, Maki Roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Excuse me?
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like I thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No! There must have been a way! We're gonna figure it out!
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance? If you know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. Sure, there's something. I need some kind of clue. Minigames or something? No, it's just... We're just gonna spin. We're just gonna spin.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
Yes.
There is something that bothers me.
The boom boom.
The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange.
Now that I think about it, while we were all singing the song,
Here we go.
I heard something fall, I think.
Ah, okay.
I'm more
It's
concerned
one of
about
those,
how dark it got in there.
It's one of those agreeing statements.
I mean, it was totally pitch black. My job was to relight the candles. Moving along the walls was seriously tough.
I'm sorry. This is on like the 5th statement. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was a little closer than that.
While we were all singing the song, I heard something fall, I think.
Ah, God damn it! I fucking hate all the words and positions. Frankly, also, what's the point of the time?
Did anything seem out of the
I mean, I
ordinary
get the
during
idea.
seance?
It's for the fucking mono coins that you can get at the end and they rank you. But really, who comes back like, I need to get a good score, guys?
While singing the song, I heard something fall.
I'm gonna fucking have a stroke. I hate that I have to have accuracy. You know? It really kills my flow when I figure out what the answer is and then I have to spend 2 tries getting it. This one's gonna be like, you're bad. And I'm like, oh, you're adopted, you fucking monsters.
I agree. Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
Yeah.
It sounded like something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard. What could have fallen down?
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark. Huh. Okay, so... what caused the sound that was heard during the seance? The floorboards being loose? Could have been that.
This is it!
Yay, I'm a big boy. Everyone call me a big boy.
I
Just
think the
comment
floorboard
KZ's a big
coming
boy.
off had something
Don't do
to do with
that.
that sound.
You're gonna do that.
That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
Would the floorboard have made such a loud sound, though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That is true. There had to have been a strong impact to make that sound. But what was it? What could it possibly be?
All right, then. Let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now. So what made the floorboard come loose?
Oh,
Judging
cross
from the
piece
sound,
then.
there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe
I'm
the
sorry, I
wooden
was going for a
statue
crotch.
fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hid under floor, then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and balls are the best of friends?
What?
The floorboard come loose.
Okay, I think it was the one toward the end. Guess we're going to have to agree with Kokichi on this one.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
I agree.
I like how it almost got dodged. I would have been so fucking pissed.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
The floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, one of the cross pieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the cross piece?
What did they stand to gain? I'll need to think carefully about the cross piece and the floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end. The cross piece had been cut and was the other end. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on. Only one cross piece was cut, the other two intact. Well, if all of that... Well, cutting out the right side, if you did it like that, then all of the weight from Tenko, the cage, and the dog would have done like a seesaw. So you could very easily have an access point there. I was thinking it'd be like seesaw or like opening, or it's actually it has to be seesaw. I'm seeing all the things here. Seesaw, something else. No, it's not Seesaw Seesaw. Seesaw. And yes, I'm just hitting every letter to try and decode it for myself. Seesaw. E? Seesaw EF at. Oh, Seesaw Effect. Seesaw Effect, okay. That second word, I'm just like, what in the fuck?
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Huh? A seesaw?
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever. A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yeah, that sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that, unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
The floorboard seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric. What conclusions can I draw from this? There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence. And that's gotta be... It can't be underneath. It could be put there later. Could it have been the top? Ah, shit. I forgot that was time. My bad. I'm just gonna say the top.
That's it!
Alright, cool.
The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade facing down. The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage. Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble, but the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage. She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouched position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, they could compensate for the blade's length.
That is some Looney Tunes level. Wow.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide.
Is that old-fashioned in any way?
Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box. Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
Oh.
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
No.
Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
True. Himiko chose the room.
Oh yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance, and suggested the middle room. She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
That's a lie, right? Himiko?
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Wait! We don't know that, right? He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
Kill Tenko? I killed Tenko?
Himiko?
What's wrong, Himiko?
It is true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea. Does that mean Himiko really killed Tenko? Will something like that happen? No, it's not. No, that didn't happen. However, in part 2 we'll find out, because this is obviously an intermission. This was a long part 1. See you in a bit.